Is Alibaba heading towards progress and should you buy the stock at the current levels? Keep watching as we answer that by going through recent news as well as my chart analysis and price prediction. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. First up, the company has established a new campus in about 200,000 square meters, which is slightly bigger than Google's headquarters. This campus will facilitate Alibaba Cloud Computing, which currently is their fastest growing business, contributing to almost 10% of total revenue. They aim to increase their international presence, and to execute this, they'll launch new data centers in Germany, Saudi Arabia, and Thailand. A negative factor is that despite these developments, the growth of this segment fell from 20% to 12% per quarter. Now let's talk about return on equity, aka ROE, which is an important factor of fundamental analysis. The formula for calculating return on equity is net profit divided by shareholder equity, and the ROE for Alibaba stands at about 2%, which means that for every dollar invested, the company makes 2 cents of profit. This is a weak ROE compared to the industry average of 12%. And with all that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Baba, and of course we'll first analyze the 1-day chart, then the 1-hour chart, and to end it off we'll get into the 5-minute chart. But right off the bat, you guys can see that my analysis, my previous analysis that is, was pretty much correct, because I already told you that this level over here at 86.95 or pretty much just $87 would prove as a resistance level, and this level over here around $73 would prove as a support zone. And as you guys can see, we did get close to this around $74 and of course rebounded and hit a bottom, made somewhat of a double bottom. But to start with our new analysis, let's quickly delete all of these drawings, and now as you guys can see, we have a fresh chart over here. Of course, the stock is in a bearish trend over here, as you guys can see, right? So this doesn't look very good at the moment, but of course we're getting a pullback today. So once this pullback is over, the next day starts, and then we'll probably continue with the bearish trend in my opinion, right? Of course, Baba is a, good stock in general, but as I already told you in the previous part of this video, that the ROE, that is the return on equity, is really poor for the stock. So that does act as a red flag in my opinion. And of course, even if we look at the candlestick patterns, we can clearly see that over here, for example, we got somewhat of an indecision in the market, and after that we fell down, got somewhat of a pin bar candle over here. This did not, result in anything specific, but in my opinion, we would probably, or we will probably get a bottom over here somewhere in the $70 or $60 range itself. I don't honestly believe that the Baba stock should go below $70. Of course, if you account in for inflation and stuff like that, the stock might go below 70, but if we talk about simply price action and fundamentals, the stock definitely would not go below, $70. Now, over here we can see that the earnings report comes out on 4th November, so in my opinion, the stock would probably continue to be in this range until the earnings report comes out. Then, of course, we already know that the third quarter has performed, has been a really bad time for most companies. So I believe that we will break the $70 range after this earnings report comes out, but we will recover from it, hitting a bottom somewhere in the $60 to $70 range. If we talk about today's market, we can clearly see that pretty much every single stock on the market is in the reds today, except for, exceptional ones like Netflix. But getting straight to the point, what exactly is my analysis, or rather my opinion on Baba? In my opinion, of course, the stock is definitely not a buy at the moment. But of course, if it gets to a good valuation, if they fix their fundamentals, I personally would buy it anywhere under, $75 or $80. Of course, they need to fix their fundamentals for that to happen, because in my opinion, as long as they don't fix their fundamentals, well, the company is probably like a sleeping lion, because it's fierce, but well, it's sleeping, so what do you expect? With that, I'll give the stock a 1-year target of somewhere around $110 in case it recovers, because I don't believe the stock has the potential to skyrocket as such. And with that being said, let's quickly jump on into the 1-hour charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-hour chart, and of course we have some really interesting things over here. First, there was a lot of indecision on 4th October. Then on 5th, we got a pretty strong pin bar candle on the negative side. We got somewhat of a reversal candle. The reversal did happen, but of course, it got deflated. We got another pin bar candle, and another reversal candle. So of course, another pin bar candle over here, reversal, right? So this kind of reversed us from this small bullish momentum, right? Then we can see that we got a gap up, pretty much an indecision over here, right? Over here we got another pin bar candle, but it failed, of course. And as you guys can see, currently on 11th October and 12th October, we can see that we made a bottom over here. This is pretty much the same level at $74, but we've fallen below. If we look at the trend, the short-term trend, it is negative. So we've built up a resistance somewhere around here at $76.65. As you guys can see, we already made somewhat of a double body top over here. And after that, of course, our VIX stood at $77 here and $76.9 over here. After that, of course, this entire picture just speaks bearish, right? So this just tells me that the stock, of course, is bearish, as I already told you in my one-day analysis, right? As you guys can see, we did get some high momentum over here and over here as well, but this was pretty much just market circumstances and the stock just glided with the market. But if we look at the overall picture, we can clearly see that we have had some, really bad days. Let me get my brush tool real quick. We've had some really bad days over here, right? And now I believe that we're pretty much replicating this scenario over here where we kind of squeezed into a range over here, right? This was in August. So this scenario might be replicated over here once we get a few more candles in this range. And of course, after the negative earnings report, as I already told you, we might get a big move. Whether it will be on the upside or downside, well, I really don't know that because of course we don't have an idea on what their earnings report will look like. But with that being said, let's jump into the 5-minute chart to analyze the stock in detail. Now that we're in the 5-minute chart for BABA, we can clearly see that we got a resistance over here at 79.5, of course, right? We made a double top over here and over here as well. We got a strong support over here around $79. That is pretty obvious because, it's a psychological level. The next day, of course, pin bar candle, pretty big selling pressure, pretty strong selling pressure. After that, we got somewhat of a double bottom over here around 74.15 and 74.2, right? After that, we were of course getting supported around 74.65. We got resisted somewhere into this range at 75.15, I guess, right? Or rather just 75.10. Then over here as well at 75.90, right? So another one would be over here at 76.9 pretty much, as I already told you. But if we look at the overall trend, we can clearly see that, we got somewhat of an inflation deflation curve. So what that means is we got deflated, got inflated, deflated, and of course now we're getting kinda deflated again. As you guys can see, we touched a peak over here at the same level over here at these levels pretty much at 76.6. So this was pretty obvious and you could have easily gotten a good short trade over here. As you can see, we already got an engulfing candle over here because this red candle engulfed this small green candle. And now, as you guys can see, I believe the stock will probably take a rebound from over here around the $75 range. With that, my analysis, or rather my view on Alibaba remains bearish, and I most definitely would not recommend buying the stock currently. Of course, if you want to take a risk, if you want to go for the high risk, high reward part, you can do whatever you want. Right? Of course, this is not financial advice and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. You can subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for more such videos. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one.